Alrighty. Alrighty. Oh, we'll mute that. There we go. What's up, Todd? Oh, what a week, man. What a week. I just put more Topps Chrome Hobby in the store. I think it's now like 215 a box. Topps really dropped down in prices big time. I was counting on it, but not like what it did. Wow. Insane. Ever since all the stuff with Fanatics and then Topps getting dinged out of baseball, I'm starting to wonder if a lot of the other products going to go down like that too. What's up, Oof? I had to go get blood work earlier, so I never really changed out of what I wore. Oh, not bad. I was tired, man. Last weekend kicked my butt driving to Pennsylvania and then back the next day. Keep joking around until my mom was sent her back by Greyhound. Yeah, they're in a store. I got one, two, three, four left. Four left. I turn around look. Yeah, four Topps Chrome hobby boxes. I put them down to pretty much what the distributors are selling them at now. I really don't know what blowout and all them are doing, but I just know they dipped a lot. I figured they would eventually, but man, if that's any indication with some of the stuff coming out, not going to be good. Will not be good at all. Joey's going to be running late tonight. He sent me a message a while ago. I'm not too sure onto it. The more I keep seeing, like, I kind of figured Tops was going to get hit with some prices going down, especially new releases. A lot of times they'll be up, at a certain level. And then after that first week, depending on what it is, especially like Topps Chrome and Bowman, you'll see a little bit of a dip. But what it dipped down, it was a lot. I think there's going to be that initial scare, but I also think people are buying to hoard because if, say, even with Fanatics, even if they lease it out to Tops, there's still going to be something probably Fanatics on the box. I think a lot of people are just going to be like, I want the original top stuff. And I think the same is going to go with Panini. I mean, that's why I'm keeping a lot. I have some 1819 stuff with Luca in it, and I'm just holding it. I mean, in 10 years, could it be crazy money like LeBron stuff? Who knows? But it could be. I mean, I had my fill of Luca, kept a few, and got rid of a bunch during the hype. Yeah, I had one box of certified football. I got pushed that out already. I didn't even want to chance it. Trying to think what else there was this week. It came out. An hour late, no problem, no problem. I'll see you when you pop up on the other screen. Yeah, pretty crazy. Like this last probably about a week and a half with everything. I mean, I usually like try keeping track of like what's selling on my slabs and stuff. And I mean, I've seen one guy pull all of his Jameis Winston collection out of the PWCC vault just due to the fact that he's getting ready to start. Trying to think what else I noticed that was really offhand strange. Let me look here real quick. There was a couple cards that were like really selling, like Kevin Porter Jr.'s. I've been seeing a lot. Excuse me, a lot of those being sold and bought up. People like Darnold from his performance, of course, tonight. We'll see how that goes into the regular season. Uh, I've seen some Burrows. I think a lot of basketball too starting to buy up. Yeah, you're probably at the casino, CBC. I'm almost guaranteeing you're at a casino right now. You can share your story later when you come on that you told me about. Because that's actually an interesting topic with what happened with your whole thing. I mean, a lot of people need to be aware of that stuff happening. I was in shock when you sent me the message because I was trying to get a few things done. What's up, Shake It Up? Yeah, I mean, I was one of them people that I have wax boxes that are older. Yeah, you're at the casino. I already know. But you know, the 1819 stuff, like I was telling people, I was adding it to my orders just to ship out. And I mean, this is back when like Revolution basketball was like 400 a case. And oh gosh, I think the Chinese New Year was like 200 a case or inner case, whatever you want to call it. So, you had to add the order to get free shipping. That's the only reason why I have it. No, their Major League Baseball license goes through, I think, 2025, but the Players Association's like 2023. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. That's going to be a crazy ordeal right there. I just can't see Fanatics. I mean, they have time. Well, we got about 2 years roughly till they can start hitting some of the markets. Um, that's just a lot of stuff. I just don't know how much their contract is for product per sport and then having to produce it all. Because you gotta look, I mean, Toss was solely baseball. Then you had football and basketball solely Panini, and Panini was pumping out product. He's at a swingers party. Like, oh, oh, you changed your name. I forgot about that. There you go. Forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm holding boxes. I mean, I really don't have a play anymore, to be honest. This whole thing threw a monkey wrench into a lot of stuff that I was planning on looking at. I mean, I'm still looking at buying like lower, I guess you could say lower serial number cards, but I'm not talking like Bowman and stuff like that. I'm more into like the definitive for baseball, diamond icon, stuff like that there. I mean, I still do pick up some different odds and ends if it's autograph serial number two, just because I know autographs are more scarce than a base card and so on. But what I keep looking at more is that I don't know if anybody remembers when Panini came around. I think it was like 2012, 13 time frame. Dog just walked in here. That's why I was looking why the door opened up. It took a few years before they caught on because I can remember doing full case breaks of like Prism basketball, left serial number, lowest one takes the whole case at like 30, $40 a box, maybe 50. It was cheap, but it was just something fun to do because we were all bored during that time frame. Now, I don't see people doing that at all. Ah, another channel. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I just don't really know. I think I'm just going back to being more of collecting, and then the stuff that I get that I don't want, I'm just gonna sell. I guess you can call it flip in some ways. I mean, I've been since I got really back to my regular schedule, probably about Tuesday this week with sleep and everything. I mean, I've been popping through just reading a lot of different comments to. I'll let you come on and tell it. I don't even know. Do you even have the card in hand yet, or did you just get that email with a screenshot of what it was? I was meaning to ask you that. Yeah, I just picked up a box. What is that behind me? Bowman's first edition from this year, and I don't even know if I'm going to open it, to be honest. I got lucky on the box I bought online when Topps was originally selling them because I pulled that Nick Gonzalez out 25, but I really want to get one of them die cuts. Oh, you just got the pop. Okay. I'm sure they're going to want more than the picture of the pop report onto it. You're probably going to take a picture of the card with the letter they send. You might even have to find out exactly what the altercation is on, or the altered whatever piece of it is, too. Yeah, I was figuring that, Charles. That economy is probably going to be back. My guess was um regular would be back. I thought after Labor Day, but by judging off it, I think it's going to be October, and I bet you they'll release economy either November or December offhand. And I know they're going to get slammed with it. Slammed. Because I have stuff here that I'll probably just again overnight to them just so I can get ahead of the kind of the rush of being bombarded. But I'm wondering if regular is still going to be the. Let me think here. Regular used to be about what 30 business days roughly, and I think economy was supposed to be 45 business days. But at least if they start opening up their services again, I mean, it'll be good. I haven't looked to see. I can tell you now some of my values this week was weird. Went into grading, and two of them were actually logged in the same day, and one of them still in research and ID. It was kind of odd. Let me see. I haven't really looked at the stats. So ultra modern 93% November, but they haven't updated in 5 days. Looks like 12 November, but my stuff was February they put into grading, like February 10th, I think was the latest one. And pretty much we know Express is just rolling. Regular 91% April done. I don't think they have much more left. No Siri, bad Siri. Yeah, but they're probably going to want pictures of it, the actual item and a letter from them. They're also opening a brand new grading site in Jersey. I wonder if that's going to divide up between East Coast, West Coast then. But if you're from these states, you're going to send, to here. And if you're from these states, you send here. That would help a whole lot. It really would. I mean, then you got to get people it's going to transplant from California to Jersey. I mean, then you're going from being in the hotness to the good old snow village. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to really increase pricing. I mean, I know they paid more for their licensing. But if you look like the NFLPA thing is for 20 years, so a chunk of that goes to the Players Association. It'll definitely be different. CBC, I'd definitely get a letter from Beckett. You're going to get all the proof you can onto that. But the other catch is if eBay says no onto it and you paid through PayPal going eBay, I think you could fight it that way too. When CBC pops on, he got an interesting story. I mean, it's something I wasn't really expecting on a card he submitted. I'm going to guess they'll probably have that open up. They signed a lease. They got to get all the equipment, the people in. I'm gonna guess fully functional by next late spring, maybe early summer, because that's going to take a bit. I mean, look when they bought that other building out there, how long it took them to get staff to get everything circulated. Well, I've had one CVC in grading now for like 3 weeks too, maybe four, 3 or 4, I forget. I mean, PSA is moving the value stuff. It's just going to take a while. My fear is them all popping at once because of how they're all doing it. But I don't think they will. I think it's going to probably be something like 1 week, then the next week, and then 2 weeks later, something pops. I just know it's 2020, or it's good. It's supposedly 2022 Series 1 from what I've heard. I don't think we're going to see a sell sheet on that. Ooh, I'm going to guess a wow. But yeah, his will be Series 1 because they're going to need that push. I mean, I put in for, I think it's a case and a half of hobby and a case of jumbo. No idea how it'll land, but we'll see. Because I figured everybody's going to want their wanders. And if it's like anything else, it'll be one per box probably. Richard, I'm hoping they don't, but I have a funny feeling they will to maximize profits. So my thought on that is okay, Tops was valued X amount of money. We already know that they're in debt. That's just a given fact. So, with that being said, their value decreased because everybody knows they lost that licensing and all that other stuff. I could see them pumping out more cards. I don't think they could pop out more um, types of products. I think it's limited to a certain amount per year by contracts. I know Panini's they had to do X amount at least per year, but I can see Tops really pushing a lot more. We might see all kind of sapphire stuff going on their website. But see, Tops just doesn't just produce the hobby and retail boxes. You got to remember they do all that Tops living stuff and all that other stuff too. So it's going to be kind of hectic. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with the Montgomery Club in a few years and everything else. I don't think it's just team logos. I think it's something else to do with a player's name too, if I remember right. No, because Tops will just sell those signatures. That's all they'll do. Worst case scenario is that if they still have stuff out there before that last year, it won't be like, oh, we got 1,000 Hank Aaron autos, so we're going to go make a product run high. I bet you they build something. It's going to be on their website, and they'll sell it that way. Or maybe they just sell those autographs to Fanatics. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was more than team logos, though, for sure. I thought it was also the player's name or something that goes along with it. Because before the Players Association got in with it, it was just the logos dealt with like Major League Baseball itself. And whenever the Players Association got into it, I think that was dealing with players' names or something. That would be sad though. If Panini and Tops do that they don't fill those redemptions. I could see a huge lawsuit. And if they're already in, say, bankruptcy mode, we're just screwed. A lot of people are not happy with the Fanatics thing. And the way I've seen it mostly is Collectors like 35 and up are mostly not happy with it. And like the newer generation of collectors, I'm going to just go with a low age, like 10 through like maybe up to 30, or like, happy about it. It almost is like to where, some people are just, old school and they like Beckett and PSA and they don't want to give HGA a chance. It's almost the same way. What's up, Shannon? I can see it unfolding all different ways, and I could sit there and pick my brain till it's done, and they could do something different. With actually having a license and having to deal with distributors, I've had to deal with so much change since 2018. It's not even funny. So nothing surprises me anymore. It almost goes with the same way that even like your local, your LCSs and everything that go through this distribution chain, you know, might not have Fanatics allocation. How are they going to do it? So now you're not just breakers and everybody else, you're going to have your local or your LCSs and other places might be limited on how they buy it. Well, Fanatics signed 20 years with the NFLPA. Yeah, a lot of people are not happy with it. The only thing I could say is if they do it and they sublease it out to like Tops, Upper Deck, and Panini and let them fight the market out with their product would be good. Because if you only had to say, they say we allow you guys one a month or two a month of each sport, you could only put out the best product. You can't sit there and put out all the crap that they normally do. I mean, if you look in a course of a month, you're probably getting four basketball, four football products a month almost, especially once they start with the new year. And then it kind of dries down and it starts picking up with the newer stuff with all the college stuff. I mean, who knows offhand, because you still got the college out there stuff, and I don't think anybody's fought for that yet. I think Panini still holds it all. Yeah, I've seen that with HGA. I think they already got one of them. I can't remember who it was. Heritage, I think, is now taking HGA. Well, you got to remember, Fanatics did do cards, but they were Panini's stuff, and I want to say it was Optic and maybe Prism or Mosaic, but they had a Fanatics version. But when somebody comes in and blows out an offer, you can't say no to it. It's all about the money, and agreed. Yeah, I've seen that with the NFTs and stuff. I mean, I got some, but I just don't like the idea of having a digital card. I would rather have it physically because I'd rather have something I can display. I mean, I get the idea of the NFTs, but if you start looking, I mean, Panini's just drowning. Like every week, there's a few different releases of NFTs versus Top Shot. I think a couple a month, maybe, depending on playoffs. I can't show that on screen on my phone. Yeah, I don't think I'll move to NFTs. I'll just still stick with the older stuff. I mean, I'll go back to just being straight vintage again. But see, I always got a kick out of it. A lot of people that came into hobby like the last 2 years always thought like vintage was scarce, and it's really not as scarce as what you think. there's a lot of people that have huge vintage collections. It's just that you don't see them all the time. When you go to shows, you mostly see all the newer stuff and you see how high it was produced. But there's a lot of vintage out there. Now, the thing with vintage is the condition of the card. So that's where it starts getting rare onto it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather have it in my hand. I doubt they will. Those slabs, though, I'm trying to remember what it was. There was something with it. I can't remember the whole thing. Honestly, if I don't think they're going to touch hockey because then you start really hit. If they hit like soccer and hockey, it'd be a true monopoly, and I think that starts going in line with something. I remember somebody talking about it was legal smart compared to me. I mean, I'll still get into stuff like Dynasty and NT and Luminaries, Diamond Icon, stuff like that. Um, I just won't go crazy like I used to in a lot of stuff. That's my thing. I mean, I was telling CBC a buddy of mine ran a case in Omega, and I want to say it was $10 a spot. I forget what it was. It was like 300 spots or something. Top eight each one a jumbo box. I took 5 spots. Somehow I hit 2 boxes, and I did well all the boxes. But you know, I'm just being more selective on what I carry forward right now. Now, Grant, like I mean, if some one of my sports teams I like to watch get a hot rookie, I might go chase it, but that might be about it. Yeah, a lot of people are big on them first Bowmans. They have been for a while. Yeah, I don't think they'll touch hockey or soccer. I think they're going to hold where they're at right now, and then they might creep into the stuff like a joint thing, like how soccer already has two people making it. They might just take a third. Or, like I said, they could just lease out the licensing out to all the other companies, and then they'll just have like a little Fanatics thing somewhere on it. Oh, I've been a Sapphire fan for years. I wish I'd have bought more 2018 Tops Update Sapphire than what I did. No, I don't. I don't mess with crypto. That stuff's too hard to follow anymore. I do own Bitcoin, but the story behind it was I had some guys that were doing the mining or whatever it was for it for gosh, I bet you it was over a year. And they sold me some, and then somebody I forgot I even had it. Somebody ended up telling me it was up to what it was like 15, 18,000 a Bitcoin. And I was like, holy cow. Yeah, I mean, I've been messing and tad going back into it. Um, I don't know if this card will show up because I got the screen up. That's something I just recently purchased, and I mean WWE stuff just because it's different. And you know, for example, like certain guys are gonna, be gone at, like I hate to say it, dead, and there's not gonna be many autographs out there. So I just been picking up oddball stuff mostly. I don't know if there's anything else in here I picked up recently. Mm-mm. I got something coming in the mail tomorrow, and I cannot even think what it is, to be honest. Oh, it's a Baker Mayfield card. That's what it is. It was rookie year. Oh, Joey will be on here shortly. He's about an hour late. He won't tell everybody, but he's out there winning and breaking the casino's bank tonight. Yeah, I mean, you got to think Sting's no longer in WWE. There's only X amount of Sting autos. So I picked a couple up along the way. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that. There, think Hogan, Flair, people like that, just not really going to be alive. I mean, look at how these wrestlers die all the time every year. I mean, Flair, whew, I mean, he luckily beat what he had earlier with his heart condition and everything. But when you start looking at it, I mean, I could see WWE eventually starting to do cut autos and stuff, which I think would be really cool. Oh yeah, WWE's in rough shape right now, but they still had stuff. I mean, AEW, I don't think has cards right now, so you can't really touch it. Oh yeah, I won't do that stuff there. Um, where you buy a fraction of a sports card. I'm not in that. I don't like it at all because then you have to have like a majority in order to sell the card to make profit. You have to hold whatever your share is for so long. Yeah, I'm just not really down into it. Oh man, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe. I don't know. If I had to pick one, I would go after. Man, it's a toss up between Messi and Ronaldo in my thing. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of soccer, but if I had to get one of the autos, it'd either be Messi or Ronaldo. Well, AEW's gone out and actually hit a lot of the guys coming in. You know, they pretty much got Daniel Bryan in lockdown. I guess Bray or not Bray Wyatt. Braun Strowman's heading there. A couple other guys. Now they could go TNA too, but I just don't see what they would do in TNA or Impact, whatever it's called. But AEW's got the money and they got the stuff rolling right now. But they got to be careful because they built that on the new talent. And if you start bringing in like how WCW did all these WWE guys and pay them all the big money, you're cutting time away from your younger guys. Now, AEW does do a real good job with the time they have in capturing everything in that time frame. It doesn't feel rushed like WWE does. So there's a lot of ups and downs with it. Huh. I'll have to look at that then. CM Punk cards. Yeah, I mean, it's just something I thought about out of the box with wrestling because, you know, as soon as like a Hall of Famer dies, like their stuff skyrockets. And I started looking at like how many different autos somebody has for wrestling and stuff. It was just something different. It's football. I mean, they could be working side by side. I have no idea what goes on between the two, but I really don't think. I think the biggest thing is them having Punk in there because he was not going to go back to WWE. It's not even at CBC. They have to build storylines that are fresh, and that's the thing. But the same time frame, you can't bring in 15 to 20 of WWE's. I don't want to say fallouts, but people they don't consider signing or they just did a bad job promoting. Bring them in, and then you wash out that younger talent that's in there. That's what happened at WCW, big time. And that's all because if you think about the Monday Night Wars, where they brought in the NWO. Okay, you brought in a couple big guys, then it was like almost every week they were adding people. I just buy them because I like them. I'm not buying to really invest. Oh yeah, I've seen his talking how they couldn't keep stuff secrets and all that stuff. I mean, Cornette's been around for a long time. Heck, a lot of people probably don't even know Paul Heyman walked around with the big old like freaking '90s brick cell phone in his hand. Oh, they must just brought him in today. I don't know if they actually signed him yet or not. Oh, no kidding. So Upper Deck holds the AEW thing. That'll be kind of cool. But the thing is, Upper Deck is a straight. If you don't have a brick or mortar place, you can't buy. You gotta go through one of the. Uh I don't even call them distributions, but you gotta go through like Dave and Adams or Blowout and pay their crazy prices. But I think it's like after 6 months from release, we're allowed to buy. And by then, the product's already either way up high or you just can't find it. Yeah, Steel City's another one. They used to be Pittsburgh wholesale back in the day because I used to buy from when I was out there because they were located in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. And every time I'd go out poaching, we'll call it, I would stop down there, pick up a few boxes up, and come home. I was watching a couple of videos of people talking about I guess you could say the new generation of slabs that have come out. Quite interesting to hear people's opinions on like the 10 to 15 companies that are out there that just opened up within I'll call it the COVID era. I don't know I don't remember who all they were, but I was just typing new grading card company and there were people doing like reviews about like anywhere from 5 to 10 of the companies. Some of them I never even heard of. Like there was one that was called like I want to say it's forensic card grading. Never even heard of them. I like the label, but just never heard of them. But I mean, there was another um, thing everybody was buying into called blow pack. And it's basically the same thing when you buy a share of a card, but I think you're not buying a share. It's like you open a e-pack up and then you're getting like one of like 2000 I don't know how you could say it, one of 2000% that were involved into like a Jordan baseball SP card or something. Heck, I was going through some of my stuff and I found, if you guys remember the old deck of cards the military used when they went to Iraq with like who the ace of spades was, jack of diamonds, queen of clubs, and all that stuff, so you could memorize them. I still had new packs of those. I didn't realize how popular that stuff was. I don't send nothing to ComC. Oh yeah, I seen Burbank. Yeah, because I got a thing of the video. I mean, security at Slab was just bad. And I mean, every new card company went through it at one period of time, made changes to it. The only difference is now we have a whole lot more social media to where it's more public knowledge than what most people know from back in the day. I mean, here's one I'll throw out there for you. Sasha T hasn't done a video since I think he released one video like the day after his airport deal video. He's been scarce. I mean, I think he took so much heat that he actually either backed away or I don't know what he's doing now. But that's something. I mean, he was doing what, 2, 3 videos a week and now nothing. Oh yeah, the old video games for sure. If you have the box and the manual and you haven't played them and all kind of stuff, you can get some crazy money. Back in, I want to say it was 2002. I ended up buying a stack of the old He-Man action figures still in the pack, and they still had, I want to say it was either Children's, I'll have to look, it's either Children's Palace or KB Toy Store. I'm pretty sure it was KB Toy Store stickers on them and service merchandise. Yeah, I mean, there's all kind of stuff that's gone up in value. Heck, next thing we'll be talking about Beanie Babies and freaking Funkos going insane. But yeah, it was just odd. Like I haven't seen anything posted from Sasha T now. What is that? About a month? At least 3 weeks, probably. Nothing. I mean, heck, every show I was setting up at, guys, it's all they talk about. Sasha T this, Sasha T that. What's up, Derby? Try to make sure I keep up with comments. Oh man, there was some times I remember when Pokemon first came out, I was in Hawaii. My supervisor was real huge into it, and he was going to these flea markets and buying the boxes and making sets and all this stuff. And the only reason I even have any was because of him. Hey, everything has a comeback eventually. I don't know. I remember when the original Atari Stone boxes were like 300, 400. I don't know what they are now. That was a few years ago for sure, though. Oh man, Derby, you got COVID? Man, sorry to hear that. Hope you get better quick. That Delta stuff, man. I don't know if I told anybody this, but my mailman ended up getting COVID. Oh, now it's probably close to about 3.5, 4 weeks ago, and he passed away on the 17th from it. Now, I think she told me he was 63 or 65, something like that. But man, I'm gonna miss that guy because he would come to my door, and if I didn't hear a doorbell, he would knock real loud up there. So I always got packages out. Oof, not Pogs. No. Oh gosh, that stuff was so horrible. IV treatment, huh? Gotta get them fluids in your body. Plus, they can put the medicine in it too. $200 for an Atari. Is that the 2600? Like the old version, like the wooden version? Like the I don't know how you want to say because they had like two different models of 2600, and you had the 7800 come out. Now they made many 7800s now because there weren't many games just for the 7800. That's some old school stuff there. Heck, I remember when Sega was big. Oh, Furbies, man. I think those things started to come back about a year, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, because people were razzing them off. Oh, Transformers was fun. You know what really sucked is when you would lose the instructions how to transform like a Dinobot, and you would get like part way, and you're going, "How does this flip around to get back into the creature?" I mean, even comic books have gone up tremendously too. Some of the coins have gone up. I don't know about stamps. Hey, Theodore, I was just talking about that. I said, I haven't seen that guy in what, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks now. I don't know how long it's been since he put a video up. I don't know if he just took so much hate that he took himself all completely out and trying to figure out how to reboot, or maybe he's just done with it, just doing everything on his own. Tape recorder. Oh my gosh. Do you remember the boom boxes? You had double cassettes so you could record a cassette in there. Oh man, I had the old ET for the Atari too. I remember that. Hey, maybe when Fanatics takes over, we'll all just go start making World of Warcraft accounts. We'll all become Wowlers or whatever they're called. What's up, Greg? What were those ones that were they bench warmers a long time? No, it wasn't bench warmers. Remember the photographs you used to get that had like Carmen Electra and oh, I'm bad with names. I'm trying to think of what her Jennifer Aniston and all that stuff were like in bikini pics and all that stuff. People are starting to sell those for some big money. Ginters like Allen and Ginters, Dungeons and Dragons. I heard something about casino chips being taken out of casinos, being they don't allow it now or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. No, I don't have any Allen and Ginter. I sold whatever I had in Allen and Ginter pretty quick. I didn't even open any myself. Oh wait, did I open Allen and Ginter? No, I did open up 2 boxes of Ginter, but I sold the rest. I had to think about it. I did because I've had a couple I put on auction last Saturday night. I'm trying to remember what the other wasn't Star Wars. Not Garbage Pal Kids. Something else was starting to start popping up pretty big too because they started asking on pre-orders for it. And I was like, I don't know. Somebody was telling me stories about that stuff, where guys would wait for them to stock the shelves, or the stockers themselves were taking all the good versions of the Hot Wheels and what is it, Hot Wheels and Matchbox. See, my love for Allen and Gint. Oh, CBC trying to get in. My bad, Joey. Allen and Ginter, I lost a lot of my love for it when I had to break it and sort it. So that stuff was so painful to break and sort, let me tell you. Those nights I just hated because then you'd have like this huge stack of like the non-sports. Then you have like teams like the Rays that would have a stack maybe like of 5 to 10 cards. You need to unmute yourself too. Topps has a lot of different things that you can go into. I'm gonna turn this down. You guys will hear some beeping. Oh, look, it's the casino mask.
Yeah.
Are you in the casino still?
Actually, we just got here.
Oh, because I was trying to figure out if that was a jackpot sign behind your left shoulder.
No, actually, we just got to good old Vegas.
Well, what do you guys know? We got CBC live from Vegas while he plays slot machines.
I am going to play slot machines live. You're right.
Hey, what game are you playing?
I am playing with the backwards.
What hotel are you in?
One game I like playing. I like playing this one. I'm actually at Paris.
I was going to say, because I was wondering if that was something to do with Paris behind you.
Yep. The Eiffel Tower and everything behind me, the blue sky and everything. Yep. So if you guys are going to talk about me again in the chat, tonight's the night since I can't see the chat.
No, he just got there, he said.
I literally just got here. We were driving when you went live, we were driving on our way. We were at State Line.
I see.
So that's why I was like, I'm going to be a little late.
Well, I mean, with you having a mask on, I kind of figured you were either still at a casino, but it looked like there was like a jackpot sign behind you to a game. And I was like, you're still in a casino, aren't you?
Like I said, I just got here. We'll be here for the weekend. We'll be leaving back. We'll be leaving Sunday. Yeah. Secret location.
Yeah, so most of them let you do the live stuff on slots. So tonight's overtime is brought to you by Paris Casino out in Vegas, where CBC is going to lose $500 in the next 10 minutes.
You know what? I don't like your attitude, man.
Do you have anybody around you that can hear us?
Oh, yeah, of course.
But do you have headphones in at least, or no?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
they can't hear you.
No, I just wanted to make sure.
No, they can't hear you.
Sushi said you couldn't read the chat. Here it comes.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of figured.
Sorry, charging me news in the tour section overnight. Oh yeah. I could see them doing it. I mean, they used to do that late '90s, even whenever Furby came out.
What's going on?
Oh, they're talking about how people used to go in and take all the Hot Wheels and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I could sit there. I mean, I thought about 10 different ways Fanatics could go with everything. Time is only going to tell, and I'm sure some of it's going to leak out here over the next probably couple weeks, couple months. Some people will be happy, some people will be mad.
There's gonna be people mad no matter what because people are afraid of change.
Out of those 2 boxes that I won in the thing, can of macro, I hit a Orange Redemption Amount Castle.
That's a good one to get.
Because I just got it in the mail, the redemption. I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday. Now I can't remember. And I only opened up one of my hobby boxes and it was horrible. I think the best thing out of it was like a Soto SP variation, if I recall right. That's why I said I'm pretty much done because I did well in the 2 jumbos that I hit. No, he can't read nothing, oof.
Nope. Go ahead. Go for it. Say what you're gonna say. Oof.
Got the pumpkin in there, but I guess not.
Hey, since I'm here, if there's any
They said, hey, they said they don't want to see your ugly mug. They want to see the slot machine. If he hits a bonus round, we'll flip it around.
Yeah, I'll flip it around. Got to get there.
Gosh, well, we could turn it overtime. That we'll have extreme casino night now or something.
Oh Lord, I was gonna say.
And all we gotta do is get your wife to plug into Zoom whenever she goes, and they play casinos all night long.
Yeah, no kidding. That's the worst one. If there's an NFL team that would put some money down for you, you need to let me know.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Ken Mackerel, was there anything good in your jumbo box? Because the other guy said that they I think one was the best. Somebody hit a Key Brian Hayes regular auto, and I'm trying to remember what the other auto was. Hache, I believe, but they were all base.
I got the dreaded pitcher box. So.
Yeah, Joey got a high box, and he had the double pitcher box.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I guess better than me than somebody else.
I stuck the other hobbies back in the store. I think it's, hold on, I'll tell you guys now, $2.15 a box. There's 4 left. I didn't hit anything, and the other 2 people didn't. Oh, Joey didn't hit anything. The other guy didn't hit anything either.
What do you think of Jameis Winston actually getting the start?
Oh, yeah, you missed that part. I was telling him how I watched a guy pull all the stuff from the PWCC vault and have it sent back. He has like probably the biggest Winston collection out there with superfractors, NTs, and all that. I think he had 6 or 7 of the cracked ices.
Really?
I'm going to watch the Jake Paul fight tomorrow.
You want to put money down for you?
I'm thinking about it because I think he's the underdog, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He ain't got a chance.
You said that last time he won.
That guy was washed up.
Yeah, no, Darby, we can't. In Indiana, casinos won't let you record. I was sitting there texting one time, and I think I was on like, I had my headphone in or something. I was talking to somebody on the phone, and the lady said something, "Are you taping?" And I'm like, "No." I didn't even know you could tape slot machines. I wouldn't even thought of something like I take pictures if I hit a jackpot, but that was about it.
You can video record Jetbox. I see it all the time. My wife sees it all the time with TikTok.
Not in Indiana, you can't. They don't allow it in those casinos. Oh, Woodley is the underdog, they're saying. No kidding.
Really? Put some money down on Woodley.
Yeah, let me know how you do can of macro, because I'm kind of curious now. I know one was a Key Brian Hayes base rookie auto, and I think it was Pache. It's either Pache or if Varsho has an auto, it might have been Varsho. I can't remember. They were both bases. And the highest color was a blue refractor out of the two boxes. So you have a good chance at like gold or above. Joey owes me $5,000. I have a photo of him in a dress. We all do.
That's my Sunday wardrobe.
No, there's no casinos in Louisville. Those are right across the river to where they're considered boats out of Indiana. $40 cases of NT, 46 cases of NT ripping. Holy cow.
Where?
It's one of them dudes that have the money.
Yeah. That sounds like it.
Yeah, I see people doing the scratch tickets on there.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Somebody said, I want Joey so bad. Looks so sexy vaping with a chin diaper.
Chin diaper. That's a good one. I haven't heard that. You
I know. I was reading it. I was like, wow. Box of NT, I have no idea, to be honest. Couple grand easy. Depending on the sport. I think I was looking I think first off the line was like you could still buy basketball around 5 or 6 grand. It might be cheaper. It was a couple weeks ago when I looked at it. And you could always take a marker to the chin diaper and draw a face. Smiley face or a frowny face.
Yeah.
I started talking about the couple of videos I was watching about these new slabs and grading companies. Like there was one I was looking at called forensic card grading, which I never even heard of till somebody was showing it. And I mean, I like the labels and the look to it, but there's just way too many of these new companies that are coming out. And basically what they're doing is using either their social media followers to buy into it. And I think it's going to turn bad. If you remember, when was that? Early 2000s, I want to say. We had a bunch of grading companies come out. Like, I can't remember them all, but there were a bunch of off brands. And Fairfield was sticking a lot of them in their boxes a few years ago.
Like GAI and stuff.
Well, if you look, my Slabs doesn't even allow BCCG because they don't agree with them.
Well, yeah, it's because it says or better. Gem Mint 10 or better. I don't see how it could be a Gem Mint 10 or better.
Oh man, I don't think we'll ever get rid of COVID. It's gonna be like the flu with a different variant always around. If you look at your flu shot, they could only, I think there's like a shot that has or protects you against 3 and one's against 5 because I don't remember what it was. It was either Walgreens or somebody when they got their shots, and I remember them asking me about it. I'm like, give me the 5. Why would I want the 3? Notice he has been playing for like 10 minutes and still isn't in a bonus round. That's not a good machine.
I'm playing minimum bet.
No, Charles, he is at Paris if you want to go down and harass him. You know, Charles comes right behind you. He probably give you a rear naked choke.
Forgot Charles does live in Vegas, don't he?
He's right outside it.
Oh, okay.
It went downhill real quick. Mike Gio's been around for a long time too. Well, at least I knew his name for a long time. Yeah, he can't read the chat, Charles. So I'm relaying.
No, so yeah, you can talk stamp all you want.
The one thing I always liked about the casinos out there, they always have their ceilings painted like skies and all that stuff. Bellagio, Caesars.
Well, we were going to stay at Green Valley, but they were booked.
Oh yeah, Grunted. I put a video out onto that right after it happened. Yeah, that was probably one of the worst things there was to happen to a slab that you crack it open with your hand. Now, somebody was telling me they could do SGC that way. I was like, you might be able to crack it open with your hand, but you're not gonna be able to put it back together by hand like they did. Oh, you're lucky. Charles said he's out of town, or he comes sneak up on you.
Well, I'll be here till Sunday morning. I'm heading back.
Somebody else was talking about pure graded X this week too, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago in a video.
Oh.
I just seen it.
No, we saw that video like 2 days ago. You were had on.
Yeah, but it was an older video because remember I went back in time and found it. But they were talking about how it looked very shady and everything onto it. So it just made me really think that my first opinion of it really was probably right because there was a lot of people then doing videos about how their product is not very well done. But I remember going to the Pure Graded X's Instagram. And they're like, we are aware of the situation with Burbank. We have found the error and fixed it. But what I thought was funny was where he was talking about the owner being real big on GMA, and he was just taking stickers and putting them over the GMA.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Because me and you were talking about, I was like, "Why?" He's probably grading with GMA cracked them up, putting them in his own slabs with the grades, and they were talking about putting stickers over, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I wish I could remember who it was that had that video out. Oh, I can't remember because it took me a minute to find it. Somebody wrote in one of the comments, and I went on there and watched it. Have you heard of Ace Grading out of England? Pokey Rand started a grading company, and he sounds like he's doing it for Pokemon cards. See, there's another place, I think it's TCG, that's been doing Pokemon for a while now. Flipping Steve received a promo package from Pure Grade X and he opened it live. He received one slab completely unhinged and not secured at all. He felt so bad because he opened it live. I wouldn't have felt bad at all. I'd been like, hey,
no, that would have been that just shows
that. Hey, that's why you don't use the kindergarten Elmer's glue that we used to eat.
But it was delicious.
You know, Dale, you're probably right. If he doesn't win something pretty soon or hit a bonus round, he might be on the corner making some slot money. I have not Derby. The last one I went to was the Belterra up in Florence. I have no idea. I mean, if you start looking at a lot of these slabs and everything, like the designs are so similar, a splash or whatever they're calling it on there, with all I mean, just because you add color to it. That's the thing, it's color, and everybody's like it's computer AI, but it's really not with some of the companies. If you guys remember the little tool that I showed you I use for centering, it has like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All they did is took the picture of that, made it transparent onto something, they lay it over the card to grade it. And then all they do is use like I don't know if it's Photoshop or Adobe Art or whatever it's called, and they turn up that invert red thing on it to find stuff. I don't know. I mean, I got what they're doing onto it so they could find things, but same thing I could do by hand with a magnifier. I did not hear about GMA's mishap this week. Oh gosh. I'm waiting to hear this one. I'm sure it's a long typing. Everybody's not like, what happened? I want to know. I'm kind of curious. Don't tell me that it was like a Tom Brady card and they called it like Sam Darnold or something. It's got to be something bigger.
Who did that? GMA?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see what happened. I'm sure he's typing it out. He might have a little more lag because I know he's over in Korea. Oh, infrared's called. That's what it is. Yeah, I knew it was something. I don't know, Sandy, offhand, one vaccine preferred over another. I went with whatever was given on post, and I think it was Moderna or something. Did their headquarters, Allen's house, in parentheses, burned down? I don't think is the owner of GMA called Allen? I thought that was that new TGIFT, whatever it is with Allen. I don't know, T something.
TGI Friday one?
I don't know. It's some tea company.
Oh, that's so much better.
I mean, I think the best thing is all these new companies are calling their pop report an Excel spreadsheet. GMA made a big announcement this week on their website that they received the new labels and would be rolling them out. Every picture of their new slabs were PSA slabs that has GMA label photoshopped. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh wow, that was way different than what I was expecting. What's up, Surfer? I'm just chilling. Joey's at the casino live streaming. If he gets a bonus round, he'll turn it around for everybody. But he's been going at it now for about 25 minutes. I think his machine's dead.
I'm only playing minimum bet. I've been winning. I just
Why are
haven't
you
got a
playing-
feature yet.
What is that, 50 cents minimum or $1?
$1. Well, 88 cents. I'm just doing it to kill time.
I didn't even know SGC sent photos, so scans. I don't even remember from back in the day when I did vintage with them years ago. What's that?
They said it scans. When they change your car, they said it should be
Oh, Joey left us. Bad internet. TCT is that the so it's TCT? Is that the Dallas Card Show grading cards? They're showing the process on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, do I need to let him back in? Let me see here. I don't think so. But I mean, I haven't seen their videos. I don't really watch them. But what I've seen a lot of the companies doing, there used to be a tool that was made. It was a centering tool. And all they did was basically put it on like a clear thing to use that on their centering. I mean, then all they're doing is looking at edges and corners. I still think, though, with edges, you need to see the card in person because when you flip a card, well, I'm trying to get to where it's in the picture here, almost flat ways. There's a lot of times where things dented up like that. I know you can't see because of the green screen thing, but I don't know. I'm just more hands on type thing. Oh, there you are. They're cutting your Wi Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, bits and pieces. Oh, you're muted. Why are you muted?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'd ask you to unmute yourself. It was
Can you hear
weird.
me now?
Yeah. Are you on AT&T?
No.
Oh. You got a small TGA order back. Do not use them. You know that's probably it. The casino said, "You know what? You ain't betting enough." Oh, he just got cut out again. You ain't betting enough. At 88 cents, you need to double that. Holy cow. Ah, man, you're liquidating, huh? I've done that over the past year with a boom, really pushed a lot of stuff to where it's mostly my own collection plus maybe 200 cards that I use for sale or shows. I mean, I don't think you could go wrong with doing it, but at the same time frame, I don't know how the future is gonna turn onto it till they announce their actual plans other than buying the company or buying the licensing. Yeah, Casino wants his wallet. Yeah, you know, a lot of people are like that, Grunt Dad, where they only want to be with the three companies, PSA, BGS, SGC, because they know it's safe and secure. Because otherwise, you're dumping money into a new company that you're hoping is going to somewhere turn around and get you a profit, year, 2, 3, 4, maybe 10 years down the road. When you look at how many of the new companies are still going to be around in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years. I know I've had this conversation on the sidebar with a couple people, and with the exception of HGA, if you take all the other new companies, I think maybe one or two will exist that are not stationed into a local card shop. Because there's a couple of them that are local card shops doing their own grading now. Those will probably still stand because they're a brick and mortar and they're based out of a card shop. But all the ones that are either like you guys are saying, like out of their basement or whatever, or they rent a building, that's big chances. I don't know. I hope they do well, but I have a bad feeling they're not going to be around long. Oh, admit. I think he had to re-log in. Let me see if he pops in here. Well, he probably had a bonus round, just got a hand pay, and we all missed it. Oh, he's walking. Oh, don't go to that. We don't want to watch you over there. No. We don't want to watch video poker. Go to the fun game.
I can't text you while I'm live.
Let's see here.
There we go. Sorry.
Are you serious? You purposely sent them trim cards and every card came back? I got 2 9 5s and the rest were 9s and 8 1/2s. You purposely send them trim cards and they grade them authenticated, not altered. Wow. Oh, really? Yours did too, Grunt Dad. So just a little bit of pressure and the PGX slabs came right open.
Okay, so I do need to tell that story.
You can if you'd like to.
So I know we were talking about that. I had bought a card on eBay, a LaMelo IMAX RPA Auto 48 of 49. So I got the card. I sent it to my buddy Gino, who works for Beckett, to the National. Literally only had the card 2-3 days. Sent it to him to the National. He was going to get it slabbed and graded. Well, he didn't get a chance to because they were so packed. So he sent it to Texas with some other cards. I was like, all right, cool. Today I get a text from him. The card had said that it was altered. And I was like, what the hell? I looked at the card looked good. I know there was a little whiting on one of the corners. I was like, okay. I was going to send a PSA, but I figured with that little corner, they'll probably deem me to like an 8 or a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get a 9 or 9.5 from Beckett. So I go to eBay. I message the person that I got the card from. And then, send him a picture of what I got. Send him a picture of what I got. And said, hey, I'd like to get a refund. Thought that was kind of only fair to ask for a refund.
Yeah, I mean, if it came back altered.
It came back altered. I didn't alter it. I only have the card for 2-3 days. I'm not pushing it. Why would I alter a card to send in to get graded when I know it would probably come back altered because they would catch it? So that makes no sense. Why?
Well, if you would, you just send to GMA or something. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I emailed them, and the person was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I will definitely not refund you. I was like, all right, cool. Because it says nothing in your description of card has been altered, touched, or anything like that. Okay. So I opened the case against them. Now, when I got the card, it didn't look altered. Didn't look nothing wrong with it besides I saw a little whiting on the bottom corner. Now, if the card get miscut or something like that from Panini, possibly. I don't know. But either way, I opened a case against him, and he's got 4 days to comply with it and refund me, or it goes to a case of eBay.
Well, here's my question. Was he able to find out what was altered on that LaMelo ball? Was it trimmed? Was it the patch taken out and replaced? I mean, there could be multiple things.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask him with it being a Friday. The place was already closed. So I'm not going to be able to know probably till Monday and ask him, hey, because I got the grader's name. There's 2 different graders, the senior and the junior grader. So I got both of their names that graded the card. I'm going to have him call or talk to them.
Hi, sir. How many are coming?
Oh, just me.
Oh, okay. What can I get for you?
I'm good for now, thank you.
Okay. I got to have your mask up.
You're smoking. I'm smoking.
I know, but it's got to be back and forth.
Okay. So,
Put their mask on.
I'll find out on Monday when I call them and talk to them and tell them, who knows? I don't know exactly what was wrong with it. So I should be able to hopefully find some kind of detail what's wrong with it. I do have the pop report of whose it was, what was in it. I got all the shipping dates to show when I shipped the card to Gino to National and him taking it to Beckett, how long it had. Because at first eBay wasn't going to let me because there's a 30-day policy, return policy. And I was like, well, the card was sent to get grading. You know how long it takes to get cards graded? It doesn't come back quick, especially with Beckett. So that might be something eBay needs to take into consideration if you buy a card raw to get something done. And literally the card, I got it the 21st of July. Here it is the 27th of August. So a little over the 30-day mark. But yeah, so now I got to battle with that.
Did you pay with PayPal?
Yep. So I have that avenue to go through as
Yeah,
well.
I was gonna say if eBay turns you down, go to PayPal and you'll definitely get your money back.
Yep.
Oh, hold on, okay. I have 10 cards coming back from. Oh, hey, what's up, Arnie? I have 10 games coming back. PGX. Oof. Let me know if you can crack them because I'm pretty sure you probably will be able to. They said they fixed it or they put in for the fix to be fixed or whatever. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the battle I got to go through now. Yeah, me.
See, that's always my fear of buying anything off eBay Raw. And now, unless you buy something high value to where you're, because you know Beckett's the most expensive service is 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm not $200.
Now, if you went PSA Super Express, we knew Super Express took about a week from the time I mailed it till I got it back.
Yeah,
That there you can get away with. But if you were buying anything else off of there that you're not going to mail in Super Express, it's going to be too hard to get your money back. That's why normally I will only use PayPal to pay for it, or I will put in my bank card because my bank does not mess around with that stuff.
Well,
I think I have 180 days. No, it's either 120 or 180 days in my bank to claim anything.
Well, I spent it was going to cost me $250 to get the card ready with Beckett because I was basically using their, super service. Well, since it didn't get done at the National, they kicked me off $50 to make it only $200, which I'm like, okay, that's cool. $200, that's a nice deal, thank you. But then when it comes back altered, guess what? I still got to pay the $200. So now I'm out $200. I'm not asking for the $200 to get refunded. I'm asking for what I paid for the card. And the guy flat out said he's not gonna refund me. Well, I'm like, all right, cool. Wait till eBay gets a hold of you, seizes your account, and then refunds me my money. And then after you're done making the $900 to pay eBay back, then they'll open your account again.
Well, here's a funny thing that Oof just said. He was on eBay and he's seen PGXs with a quad 9.5 grades with a final grade of a 10. They haven't responded to those grades. One card had a 10 subgrade and the rest were 9.5, 9.5, 9 sub, final grade 10.
Okay, little public service announcement. Please don't use PGX. I'm gonna flat out say it. Don't use them. Don't use them.
I wouldn't at all. I wouldn't spend any money on an off-site grading that does that. I mean, honestly, like I think we talked about this. I think GMG is probably one of the very few that carry over because he's changed his label to where it looks a lot better and more distinctive now. It's clean looking. At the same time frame, he has an actual shop to where, and he's interactive with his people professionally, which I give him credit. I think they're probably going to be the only ones that stick around, but I liked his idea that if you just wanted slab, no grades, it was like, was it like $10 or something, maybe?
Yeah, like $10.
$6, I forget. It was cheap, but I like that because if you just want your card encased, you could do that.
Yeah, let's say you PC somebody and you just want to get a card slab for protection because you like the card. That's fine. Like, I mean, to me, I'm only using PSA, Beckett, SGC, and GMG. Those are only for grading companies that I'm touching. CSG, I'm not touching because I'm not going to pay extra for you to put subgrades on me. I don't like the blank space that they leave right there. Big old blank space if you don't have the subgrades.
Yeah, I think I can't remember. There's something else about their cases somebody was telling me about they didn't like. So Oof said Joey was in the chat, and I think he crapped his pants when I was talking to Anthony about the price of TGT.
I was watching the video, and I
Mhm.
was just like doing this the whole time. Oof was in there, and he's gonna send some cards, and I was like, all right, man, knock yourself out. I don't trust them. They're okay, so they're using AI software, which they're using. I don't know if you guys remember those plastic grading tools.
Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah, it's the same thing that
that's
I had here. I
that's
used.
basically what they're using, digitalized on the screen and using it that way. Anybody can do that. Anybody. There's nothing transparent about it. What it is they're using a tool that's been out for a long time, putting it on the screen and just doing it that way.
Well, see, that's the one thing I liked about GMG because his software, he paid the money to be developed onto it. He showed it with the dot and how it lines up to what's supposed to be centered onto the card. He didn't have the gimmickle that we all used and bought for $5 back in the day. Now I think they're $10 onto it. And I'll tell you now, those lines that are on there are very thick when you look at them under magnification. So you truly don't get a true centering grade. It gives you a rough idea, but doesn't give you the exact. And that's what I liked about his because of how he did it. Now, granted, he probably has a Adobe Photoshop Max, Super Max, whatever it's called. But still, the way that they did their measurements down to like this millimeter was really, really good.
I'll take a beer.
And Arnie, I agree. There's a lot of shenanigans going on, and people are getting called out onto it a lot now. And you notice why they're getting called out more now is because people are catching on and calling out people onto it is the right thing to do. On top of it, it involves money because now we're in an era where things are in kind of a little bit of a stalemate with grading, and you don't see those huge profits. So that's another reason onto it. I have to find an outlet using PayPal since now. The only other place that I know, Sandy, and I know BST, his site still needs some more people onto it to catch on. My Slabs, all payments are going through PayPal, and I think he has another thing now it's set up on there for payments too. But
Probably
that's
probably Venmo.
huh?
Probably Venmo. I've only used PayPal, but I think maybe Venmo might be an option.
I don't know. I forget what it is. And see, I've been getting a kick out of people like saying, "Oh, well, AI, all this stuff." Man, a lot of that's not AI they're using. That all it is, it's not. It's computer enhancements of what they're using off of a program. Computer intelligence is a different story, but artificial intelligence, no.
No, what GMG did, they were smart. They made their own software from the ground
Well,
up.
they had it was a software. It's like Adobe Photoshop or whatever. The guy took it and modified it into a program that they could use for it. And that's why I said when he had the little dot here to here and doing the measuring that the computer already does, it brought it down to the millimeter versus that tool. That's just a guessing game onto it because the lines are thick, no matter which version you use of it. I've seen all your memorabilia on there, Dale. You do got some nice memorabilia on there.
Yeah, no, Dale's got some nice helmets. He's got some really nice helmets I've seen.
Honestly, though, Arnie, that's the thing is everybody needs to band together against these dudes. Now, Grant, anybody can mess up at any time frame. It's how you accept that mess up. Now, Grant, I'm not saying mess up like I went over and stole a Luka rookie. I'm talking about it business-wise where something messes up. I mean, I'll be honest. I messed up last weekend charging somebody because I was dead tired. I overcharged him $100 and he called me and I apologized and, refunded. But, you have errors like that out there. Now, would he come in his chat and probably mention it? No, he might make a joke about next auction, but, mistakes happen. But when you're talking about some of this other stuff, it's just not good at all. When do you all
Ready?
believe this? What's that? Good. I'm just reading.
Rating companies is just like buying cards, guys. Do your research. Do your research, because I mean, how many of them how many have popped up this year? Since the boom, how many have popped
I
up?
bet you
Probably
it's
40,
15.
40
Yeah.
to 50 have just popped out of nowhere. It's just them all trying to make a quick buck, them trying to get in the game that PSA, Beckett, and SGC pretty much have locked down on them. Everyone's, competing for this now. People are mad with PSA, people are mad with Beckett, people are mad with SGC because they're like, oh, we can make a better company than them. Good luck.
And to answer your question, Alejandro, I don't think those prices are ever going to dip back down until we see wax boxes dip in price and we start seeing the market slow down to where they're not getting their submissions in that's paying the bills. Then they'll dip prices or give us specials. And there, to my which way is that? To my right, your left, we have the ceiling of Paris. The best thing I can always tell somebody to do when you're looking at your grading card companies, it depends how bad you want the card back. Are you using it long term or using it short term or a flip now mode? And always, if you're buying, don't use one pop report. Use Beckett, PSA, and SGC so you can see the true out of it all. SGC is pretty affordable. I don't know what their turnaround is now. What, about 3 or 4 weeks probably? Because I know they were getting backed up there. It was like maybe under 10 days at one time. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just a lot of research that goes into stuff anymore. I'm trying to turn my head because their heads were sideways. Did y'all notice that? Something wrong with me. Yeah, I agree with the Beckett.
Ay, ay, ay.
Was that your wife that smacked you in the back of the head?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's her now.
Hey now.
Hey, be careful. That'll be your gambling partner eventually.
Hey, casino buddy, we can't have none of that now.
You'll see.
Is she listening to this too on her phone?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think she was playing Keno. I think she's been behind me. My parents are behind me. They're playing Keno.
Have you had a bonus round yet?
I'm sitting in a chair. I'm
Oh,
sitting
you
behind
moved.
I'm,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gambling right
Well, I know you walked over by your wife playing poker and then like it cut out, so I didn't know where you were. I thought you were still playing.
now. Oh no, that other game I did hit one. I hit a little small little one. Not bad. It cut out. I've had it up there and then it cut out. So great.
I think their pop report takes a little bit longer to update, Grunt. At the same time frame, you got to remember their production compared to PSA's output is very small. They're not putting out 170 some thousand cards a week. So a lot of Beckett stuff you're not going to see with a lot of big pop reports out there right now. But yeah, I agree. I think they're only grading a fraction of what they have there. And the other thing you gotta worry about, when you start looking at how many of those cards have been reslabbed between companies or at the same company too. Well, I think value is probably going to be at $25 when they open it up, Arnie, for PSA. And if they do, yeah, it will bury probably somewhat of SGC once it does open back up because of the pricing. And then you also have to look at what the market value is. And what's sad is because we were talking about it, an SGC 10 gets like what a PSA 9 does basically. And that's modern stuff, but it's all going to depend with time onto it. SGC's vintage still holds a very, very good value, though. Anything from, I would say, I'm going to go with like 85 and back still has a pretty good value. All right, Dale.
I think
later,
Dale. I think as time goes by, I think SGC will actually just, they're never going to be like PSA or Beckett, but they're respectable.
Well, see, and I agree. Shannon says she doesn't really the SGC labels. I don't like the font and the labels either. They could do a lot better than that crappy font. I like their old labels better than I did their newer ones. And I kind of like the 100-point scale that they used to use too. Where it would say like SGC 94, 96, 98. Very rarely see an SGC 100. I was just going to say that I bet you HGA's grade more week than Beckett, and you're probably, yep, that's probably right too. HGA is getting about 9 to 10,000 a week, Beckett around 2 to 3, and PSA 140,000. That's still a lot for 1 week. Yeah, well, that's pretty about right. I was going to say I bet you HGA grades more than Beckett. Uh-oh.
No.
He looked mad.
No, that was way too free, my dude.
Oh. Did you tip her? Did you get her phone number? He's married.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It wasn't a chat. I just do it.
No.
Hey, you should be like, you want to be on overtime right now?
She's like, oh, no, I'm working.
She's like, what are you doing, weirdo?
I'm talking to a guy with a pirate.
I'm sure PSA eventually is going to do something with their labels. I just don't know what and when. But I do like it that if they did buy a space in Jersey, if they do start, once they get that operational, if you have like East Coast, these states send to this office and West Coast there, they could really start hammering out some numbers then. And the thing is, you're still going to have a backlog at the main headquarters until they get through it. So that's why I think it'll be a little bit till they start it.
Well, I said that a while back that PSA needs to have on the East Coast. These like half the United States have sent that way, the other half's in the West Coast. I mean, that's good. They're going to go by zip code probably. They're going to go by state. Which
Just got off the roller coaster with the White Sox game. I didn't even know they had a roller coaster there. Oh, it must have been the way the game went. Never mind. I'm thinking like, because he's at freaking Vegas, and I'm thinking MGM Grand's roller coaster and stuff.
Oh, no.
I didn't watch the game, so I have no idea. Well, they've changed the label over times with the font and the sticker and stuff, security measures. I don't think they're going to overhaul it completely now.
I don't have a problem with the label. I'd leave it alone. Okay, maybe there's one thing I think they could do is kind of make how Beckett have the autograph grade on the back, like the 10 or whatever. Sometimes they put them on the back because you only limited so much space on there. You know, have the grade of Jim Henson. If you have the auto graded, flip it over and the grade on the back, just to put some more space on there.
Well, Keelan, that 140,000 isn't all one level. It's all their levels to include pack grading, ticket grading, and all that stuff too. But no, it's not all $200 and above level. No.
I yesterday, I didn't get to show it. Yesterday, I got cards back from PSA, but they were raw authentication, raw slabs. I sent that order in last July, and I got it back yesterday. 13 months later, just to let you guys know, if you send anything raw to get authenticated with slab by PSA, be ready to wait a long, long time. 13 months I waited for them. And I sent in 8 cards. That just goes to show how backed up they are on that.
Yeah, I was just reading, they were saying between PSA possible future, I'm bringing in more higher tier cards from Beckett, and with SGC and CSG, Beckett will lose value. I think Beckett will lose some value eventually. I think your Beckett 10s and black labels will always be up there, but I think the 9.5s, we've already seen that those have already gone down in price to where a 9.5 sometimes is getting lower than a PSA 9 in some aspects. It depends on the card, not all. But
But
I've
also
seen some are 9.5. Well, we're gonna go min gem 9.5, so we gotta get real technical.
Yeah, it all
Min
depends
gem
if all
9.5.
4 of them, if all 4 hit 9.5, it's a true 9.5.
Yeah, that's a true. Yeah, then you
Yeah,
got
if it's a quad
plus
9.5,
10.
then I think the value on those won't dip as much. I think it could, but if you get a 3 9.5s and a 9, I can see it dipping down. Just the black labels, the pristines, and the quad 9.5s, I can see them still holding quite a bit of value.
Granddad, I can't watch Nat Turner live or Kenny Golden. It irritates me because Kenny Golden's voice from back on QVC and all that irritated me as a kid.
No, I do hope PSA do not implicate a 9.5. Eventually they will. They'll probably give it and do it, but I really hope they don't.
They won't, because there's so many 9s and 10s out there. Those would all start, it would mess up their whole system. That's why they went 8.5 and below onto this stuff, because there's a big difference between when you start going down. And originally it was thought out to be for their vintage only. And then it moved into the modern and ultra modern. They allowed it. So, I mean, I can't remember how long ago that was too. It was a while back, but I loaded up about 6 videos. I have 2 or 3 more to load. Yeah, Arnie, I mean, a lot of people just don't review their cards, or they think they're reviewing them right, and it's wrong. I mean, I sit there and watch people's stuff get pulled all the time. I even have a few people that send me pictures asking me if I think PSA graded it correctly, and I could find stuff wrong just off the pictures and show it. And I mean, you got to think, though, it's a learning process over time. When I first really started messing into like looking cards over for grading was like probably 16 or 17. And I was more doing Beckett at that time frame, and PSA was more like my bulk stuff. And I really didn't care about PSA bulk. It was so cheap back then. But as I started moving up, I had to learn there was difference between what each company was looking at, how to really fine tune what I was looking for. And granted, I could still miss stuff, but it's just, you got to really take your time on the card. It's not a quick thing. Even with the AI grading that they call it, it's not a quick thing. You got to still go into depth onto that. They both are torching your ears. Nat said they should have another service level open in 1 to 2 months. That's what I was picturing. It would be open by October. I think regular will be open, then it'll open economy up by the end of the year, which is what I've been banking on and waiting on anyhow. Because we already know regular is going to come out at like $100 a card, maybe 150.
I'm surprised they didn't open one of them up right after the national.
No, because regular wasn't complete yet. Economy was the only one complete. You got to have regular complete before economy. And what they've been doing is using those extra graders to knock out the value stuff because they really need to get that caught up. That's where a bulk of their stuff sitting in them safes. Ooh. 5x7 card that's 2-month turnaround. Yeah, that hurts.
Now I have a question. I've been kind of thinking about this. The PWCC going to have their own marketplace. Do you see maybe props can do?
I think they all will eventually. 130 card order. Okay, so this is what Arnie just got: 2 PSA 8s, 30 PSA 9s, and 98 PSA 10s, all ultra modern. Cards were cheap to grade, so I sent a bunch. I'm guilty of that. Hey, we all are, because we were trying to take advantage of them prices because we all knew it was going to go up. Send everything you could possibly could in before it, and you know what? You'll make your money long term onto it, but it's just you're going to have to hold certain cards longer.
Oh yeah, I got some real winners coming back from PSA.
Yeah, I mean, 4 of them are in grading now. If you look at one order and my order where we said I put them in separate boxes, but then mailed it in the same box to test it out, mine went into grading and yours didn't. Which really was surprising. So it shows that they're batching this stuff different, like I was telling you that they told me on the phone. So wherever your batch goes to that section grading and all that stuff to that grader, one could be further ahead than the other. So like yours is going to be behind now like a week compared to mine. I see yours going into grading next week. Hey Arnie, from the time your values went to grading, how long before they moved to assembly? I know it's going to take a minute for it to go across. I'm just curious because that one I think is at what, 3 weeks now, maybe 4.
Yeah, that one's been ready for a couple of weeks, and then assembly's probably worth.
Yeah, since the beginning of the month. It's been there for 20 days, so almost 3 weeks now.
Yeah, but I'm afraid assembly's where it's going to get really bad.
No. I mean, from assembly usually to ship out. So most I've ever waited from assembly on, and that was during my 80s stuff because they hurried up and graded it, and I forget where it went to from there. But that was
QA 1 and 2.
Huh?
Go to QA 1 and 2. Sometimes that takes about 2-3 days each.
It could. I'm gonna say once it goes assembly, maybe a couple, at the most 2 weeks till I see a ship date on it. I love to hear the people. Oh yeah, we all can't make the perfect decisions. I mean, when you're doing your orders, you're like, you know what? I'm going to send these extra 5 in just to see how well they do as prospect cards. And we all do it. So a couple weeks then until it went from grading to assembly. Okay. So those should be starting to pop here shortly then.
Hopefully next week or this week.
Well, like I said, once that first one goes into assembly, I'll kind of have a picture of how long it's taken, and we'll just average it out that way. Because my slab's going to be busy for me. Very, very, very busy. I mean, there's some cards I'll have to hold, but the Bowman stuff, but all that other stuff's going straight up. So bulk order CSG was about 5 months. Okay. So door to door was 300 days total for Arnie's. So just under about 10 months, roughly. A little under 10 months. So I sent that in, I think it was into September, October. Let me look. Sent that in October. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Oh, yeah, 10 months right now. So mine should be popping here shortly then. Somewhere by middle of September. Okay, it makes sense. Makes sense. So yours went in assembly 4 months ago and then was sitting over, and they were sitting there over a month, and I noticed a push lately. Okay. Yeah, because you know what? That happened with my 80s stuff. Like it went into QAQC1. I forget what it was, like end of October, and I didn't see it till the beginning of January shipped out. I was in shock on it.
I don't know.
That HBO special. You talking about that one where oh, I can't remember the guy's name that does those interviews. Were you talking about where they interviewed that young kid where his parents gave him like 5,000 out of his account and he flipped it and made all that money?
Yo, I'm gonna cut it loose right here.
Huh?
I'm gonna head out.
Are you out for a night?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
I gotta go find my wife, see what's going on.
You have fun at the casino. Don't lose all your sports card money.
No, that's at home.
Oh. Just take your wife's winnings and gamble it.
She goes to bed before me, of course.
Okay, just making sure.
Do the sneaky sneak.
Oh yeah, Brian Gumble. That's who it was. Yep.
But I'll give you a call, Manana. Later, guys. Sorry I wasn't in there a little bit longer, but
Yeah, we didn't get to see you win a jackpot. Damn it.
no, you'll know about it though if I do.
All right, man.
All right, I'll hit you tomorrow.
All right, later.
Hey guys.
Now you guys stuck with me for a little bit. Yeah, if you talk to PSA about how long those things have been there, they'll usually reverse those charges. But a lot of those with the group submission guys have a different value than what we see onto it. Yeah, that's who it was. It was the Brian Gumble thing. I was trying to think about it because I seen part of it, maybe like 5 minutes worth of it, and I just it was just really dry. Oh, Sandy, my guess would you have to have 2 10s and 2 9 5s because they don't do the 9 5 method. Oh, actually, since they don't do a 9 5 method, I'd probably say they probably go 9 5 9 5 9 5 10. Asked what was the demographic age? Oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, that dude, I never cared for Brian Gumble at all. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, PSA that they give you a little better on the centering on the back, But if you have whiting on the corners, it automatically, like to them, it knocks it to a 9. Yeah, this isn't like those old remember when I used to try to catch the fugitive shows, America's Most Wanted type deal? He kind of acts like he would belong on that with his interviews. I just don't care for him. Yeah, yeah, he is. I'd never have cared for him ever. Yeah, I mean, if they kept the whole thing pretty positive about the business, I mean, now you could hit some of the areas of like trim cards and stuff like that. That's fine. But if overall it's a positive experience, so if you bat like 80, 85% of your show is positive and you only cover some a little bit of the bad stuff, it's a good show. Man, I'll tell you what, week one, the NFL is going to be kind of crazy. I was looking at some of the games because I was watching some of the quarterbacks I have. I think the Chargers are have a pretty good couple game schedule. There was another one too we were talking about. I think it's the Carolina Panthers have a couple games to where I can't remember if it was them or the Giants. I'd have to look back at it because I was talking about, well, if you wanted to have a quick flip, buy one of these two quarterbacks real quick because if they go out there and win their first two games, you know the prices are going to go up. You got to sell it during that third week before the fourth week comes up. But the issue is if you do it on eBay, you're probably just going to get a charge back. But if you had like graded stuff on my slabs, you're pretty safe on that. Steelers versus the Bills. I know they're at the Bills Stadium. Bills are going to destroy Steelers first game. That's because Gumble doesn't know anything about the hobby. The only thing he knows about is trying to get TV ratings. I think the issue with Baker Mayfield is because Cleveland's had a bad thing at quarterbacks in there. Baker Mayfield's a decent quarterback, and I think that's why there's the love for him so much. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of offhand with it. Here, there, they're just really heavy set on having Baker Mayfield cards, and they're hoping he has a good year to cash out. I don't know. I got to see how Burrow comes back from injury. I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, Darnold looked good tonight. But then again, they were playing a freaking like the rookie version of our high school team of Pittsburgh's defense, too. So I really don't know. Trying to move my box out of the way here, stretch my legs. I don't know how much that'll affect it, Theodore, to be honest. A lot of the people that have their money in cards either already made it or they came in with a lot of money. Oh, they do make a good bit of money, and now they're going to have the Players Association is going to get more money. How they use it's on them. Yeah, I don't know who it is, but I mean, that's probably why, because he's trying to hype up his own collection. Yeah, sad part is I don't even know who's some of the who half the teams are playing. Uh, Pulling it up here real quick. So Dallas and Tampa started off. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh. The Jets and Carolina week one. I'm probably going to give it to Carolina. Jacksonville and Houston. Toss up there. Arizona, Tennessee, probably Tennessee there. Even though I'd like to see Kyler Murray actually do well this year. The Chargers versus Washington's like, if the Chargers lose that game, it's because they're just gonna be horrible all year. But that'll push up a lot of people wanting to go buy Herbie stuff. Philly and Atlanta, Minnesota, Cincinnati. Niners, Lions, Seahawks, Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Browns, KC, Green Bay, and New Orleans. Wow. Huh. Oh, let me get back to where YouTube was at here. Oh, that Neo guy everybody talks about, Northeast something. Sports investor dad, clueless. Man, yeah, I've heard a lot of people tell me now a lot of the content coming out's been a lot of crappiness from a lot of different YouTubers that they were watching for a while. You know, and this goes into content creating. There's a lot of people just blurb out content all the time, and you listen to, and it's just like, what are you talking about? I think sometimes people just post content to have content up, or they're regurgitating what somebody else put out for content, and they really didn't get the true meaning behind the content, and they're flipping the whole story around too. Oh, I have no idea who's going to be in the conference. They might. I think there's two different people. Oh, maybe okay. Personal finance dad. Oh, I thought it was somebody different. Sports investor dad. There's so many people with the name of sports card investor, something, 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 and all that. I lose track of them all. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's just everybody comes up with stuff, and when you watch it, it's on everybody's same channel. Like one person puts it out, and then I can understand, like, if you're talking about a scam to get the stuff pushed out, but like if somebody says, "Oh my gosh, everybody go out there and buy freaking Baker Mayfield," everybody regurgitates it, and they have no idea why the original person was talking about Baker Mayfield at all. All they know is, "Oh, I got to put a video out. Baker Mayfield's hot." I think no matter where you go, auction houses are always going to be sketchy. I mean, it's good for the sellers a lot of times because you're getting premium dollar, but then you're paying 20% normally to the auction house. Some of the auction houses have buyer's premium on it. So as a buyer, I mean, there's I can't remember what auction house is. I think it's a 10% buyer's premium. So say you buy a card for $10,000, it's really costing that buyer 11,000. So they make 1,000 there, and then the guy sold it for 10, they're getting 2,000 commissions. So they're getting $3,000 off of that $10,000 card. No, somebody brought him up a while ago when I went on and started watching some of his videos, and I was not entertained. And at the same time, I was nothing to where the knowledge really wanted to make me go, I want to keep watching this guy either. I mean, there's sometimes like somebody will call me up to watch a video because of somebody putting something out, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. It makes no sense. You do, Arnie. You got to move stuff to fuel your own collection. I do it all the time. And my whole thing is, so if I spend $300 on something, and it's with grading, we'll just say from the old grading cost, and now all of a sudden I sell it at 500, that 300 goes back into my original slush fund of reinvesting. The 200 I make is going towards my collection. I mean, some guys have good advice out there because they're telling you right off the bat, it's their opinion onto it, and they're showing you stats or facts, and what you do with it, is what you do with it. Now, there's some people out there that will just throw out and fluff stuff that they bought into and stuff like that there. And I was telling people, showing people what I was buying and stuff. Then I had people starting to email me about it, saying they just picked up this stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I really hope this guy does well because this was just what I was doing. So now I kind of stopped doing it for a while. Um, I'll talk about like if a player went up, yeah, I put some money into him and made a little bit, but I'm trying not to really do a whole big show and tell thing anymore. I don't want to have something where I pick something wrong and then people go out there and go put all kind of money into it and it comes back wrong. Depends on the Otani card. Does it have room to go up? Of course, it always does. It going up is going to depend on how he plays and versus what people want. And sometimes it makes me wonder where people get their information from. Like you were saying, their grunt dad about the layoffs at HGA. Unless somebody from HGA worked there, so they laid off people to where you could show the proof. It's really not even worth putting out. It's hearsay, and it can come back and really bite you. Oh wow, only one card. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm at now for the year. I'd have to look at my spreadsheet. I can tell you now that I haven't sold volume wise what I've done before, but overall, like I guess you could say total that I've sold, like money wise, is up there. But that's all because of the way the hobby went too. There were times where I used to do volume a lot more, and where I'd have like when I was doing box breaks and stuff like that, I'd have over 6,000 lines in a year. And now I'm probably hitting 1,500 maybe for the year. But it just really depends on the market and how things go and how you change your course of action on a lot. Yeah, eventually I'd like to get some more people to come on here live when we do these. Even if we have three, four, five, six people, they will all be on screen. And it just gets the more talk going. And I've learned a lot of stuff in these chats from like the person that worked at FedEx, I could tell you offhand, to a lot of non-sports stuff, even sports stuff where I thought Mosaic basketball wasn't coming out because I haven't seen anything from the distributors. And somebody's like, no, no, it's on Cardboard Connection. I mean, one person cannot know it all. It's impossible with all the way the hobby is. When you have a good group of people all together at one time frame, the flow of information into there is immense, and you can really pick up a lot of stuff. Wow. Yeah. I don't think the demand's down. I'll be honest. I mean, the shows that I've been to, I haven't seen a whole lot of HGA slabs. I have seen more SGC, but that could also be due to my area. Different areas are going to have different things at their shows where, you know, I could go to a show in Tennessee and I could see more HGA stuff than I do SGC and Beckett and stuff like that. It all depends on where you're at. Theodore, I've seen that a lot recently too. Yeah, it gets annoying after a while. Oh wow, 17,000 a week now. It is a lot. Make sure I missed any comments on here. I might have to look into it and send a couple stuff in I got here to HGA and see how it does. Are they still only doing like 5 cards per order or 10 cards max per order? Oh, Arnie, I think they just hit that. It was that he covered what somebody was talking on YouTube, and the layoff or whatever it was for performance issues. I guess people were doing a bad job. I would have said fired, but he said, I guess, laid off or something. I don't know. I was talking about that way earlier. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with college now. Yeah, they took it out of context completely. But I think that people will still go into baseball because you're going to be hitting playoff time. This is always a more busier time because you got football starting, baseball starting to get into the end of the season. At the same time frame, people are going to start like, NBA is going to be starting their preseason. You start getting busy right around now because all the sports. Oh yeah, I mean HG hasn't been around a long time frame, but normally, um, at some shows, like when people are at the Dallas show and stuff like that, and you watch the videos just to see what people have in their displays. I'll see HGA slabs, but personally, like when I walked around at one, two, three different shows out around here, I have not seen any. Um, Although I do skip some booths and or tables and stuff just because it doesn't appeal to me. So they might have had them in there. Doctor, I was thinking about that too, honestly, just because the appeal onto it. I'm guessing economy is either going to be 75 or 100. I don't think it'll be 50. Oh, 100 cards now a time? Holy cow. I think eventually, once they catch up, they'll make it more affordable because you're going to start looking at supply and demand, how much stuff they have coming in. And if they're not able to keep their employees engaged, like they are work schedule wise, then they're going to have to run specials, lower prices, and do stuff like that. I'm sure we'll see what come back up. There's a couple guys I know that are down there. We'll see come up. Hello, Jacob. You had a mighty interesting room last night, Mr. Jacob Ali, aka the Den Monster, aka the Monster's Den Breaker. I'm guessing Card Vision's done tonight. I'm trying to get like you, man. I needed like another 8 inches. Yeah, I used to just sell so I can get in Jacob's breaks, to be honest. Heck, I don't even get a lot of breaks anymore. Oh, the wrench is just moderators in here, and I use it mostly for people that either I bought from or interacted with, know them, or they bought from me, or we did some kind of deal along the way. It's just easier for me to know who people are. Or some guys I've never even bought or sold from, but I've talked to them through emails, phones, and stuff like that too. I haven't done a break. Jacob will tell you I haven't done a break in probably since January or February in his group. Maybe one day again. Maybe one day again. And the thing is, it deals with allocations and stuff. I mean, I think my next product heavy is Bowman Chrome here in a couple weeks. Maybe during Bowman's Best in December, we'll run a break. I don't know. I see a lot of his stuff selling on. Oh no, I say Kevin Porter. I have no idea Michael Porter Jr. I was thinking Kevin Porter. I might. I don't have a full case of it though. I think I got 8 boxes of hobby, and I'd have to look. I can't remember how many HTA. I only got one light. I think it's half a case of HTA. I'll look at. Maybe I'll do a Bowman Chrome and I'll put it in the store for everybody. Maybe we'll do like a couple HTAs and a couple of hobbies together. Well, hello, Jacob. I'll be seeing you tomorrow night, but I may be watching the Jake Paul fight while you're casting there, buddy. Yeah, I think I might. Unless for some odd reason, one of the very few cards I'm looking for is at the Louisville show. I think I might head down to it. Oh, a lot of people want to get in a bone break. Okay, maybe I'll put something together with some of the hobby and HTA. And then I'll just put the rest on the website. People want individual boxes. Well, people are always going to hype up those guys. You got to think Darnold was one of the, I think he was like, people were going after him more than Allen at first. And he was in Baker's class and they're holding it. Bull, I have no idea why. Jacob Eason, I thought was going to be good. Now, I didn't tell everybody I was hyping him up, but I was grabbing the Colts where I could. Pitcher's mound being pushed back a foot. Yeah, I don't know if they really needed to, but I'm sure there has to be a good reason why they're doing it. Maybe not, just maybe just to do it too. Yeah, I'll look into doing both. Maybe we'll run a half case of Chrome Hobby, and I'll throw in like a box or two of HTA or something. I'll figure out a PYT on it. Because I think that comes out on the 18th. Let's see here. I think the 18th sounds right in my head. Yeah, it's no, wait. No, it's either the 15th or 17th now, I think. I'll look at it. I'll try to put something together once it comes in. Maybe I'll just run that on a Friday. I'll put it in the store on Wednesday. When it comes in, we'll break it Friday. Yeah, all the Easton autos I got in cards are dirt. Well, I got them in breaks dirt cheap. So I have like the mosaic, like the not the rookie scripts thing, but the actual rookie auto PSA 10. And I think it was selling at first for like a $1.25, $1.50. And then everybody hyped him up right after the national. I think it hit like around 400 at one time for his card. But to me, I have nothing really invested into it. So I must just take it. As a matter of fact, I think I hit one of Jacob's fillers on a random team. So I probably got it for like $30 or something. There's so many different routes Fanatics could go with that. I don't know how anybody can really predict it. I mean, they could buy them out. They could lease out to them. Tops, they might not have anything to do with Tops or Panini. They might only deal with one of the companies. There's so many routes. Until something comes out that's official, there's nothing you can really do. You can just know Tops is going to give you at least another 2 or 3 years of baseball, and Panini's got about 2 years left on their basketball, and I think 3 years left on football or something like that. Hmm. I mean, I guess you could do like a video a day of how Fanatics is going to change the industry with it. I mean, if you're really looking for content, but there's no way of predicting it. I mean, I've sat there and talked with a lot of people about this stuff, and I mean, from what they could do to how is Fanatics going to sell the product? Is it going to be direct? Are they still going to use Walmart and Target? Are they going to use the same distribution change? There's so many questions out there need to be answered. We just can't really guess it all the way. Until pieces start falling into play, we'll never know. And people are like, oh, they're going to have better card designs. We have no idea what they're even going to propose for a card design. There's no way in telling it. Do I think they might do well? They could, but could it be like Panini when they jumped in everything? It took a few years to catch on. But at the same time frame, they're not really going to be doing a whole lot of competing with everybody too. Because when Panini came in, Upper Deck still had, I think it was the college rights and everything. And I'm trying to remember, there was something else that was still going on too with basketball and football. Football didn't end until 2015 was tops last year in football. So there's a lot of different things to really look at. They could. I hope they don't. That's one of my fears is that they do something like that to where they just start pumping out more cards because Topps' overall value has dropped as a company with the news because they didn't go public and all that other stuff. So, in order to make money, either they're going to have to sell out to somebody, possibly. I have no idea because now you're starting to talk people's jobs. And I mean, just think about it. If you worked at Tops right now, how scary it is to know that you might not have a job in the future because they could only be doing so many products. And I'm talking soccer, wrestling, but yeah, F1. I think they did racing and stuff like that there because now you just took the biggest chunk out baseball. Yeah, exactly, Granddad. Nobody knows what they're going to do. And Dr. I agree. They could have a totally different kind of crazy card that everybody has to get used to look at. I mean, look when Panini came out with their different designs and stuff like that. It took a while. I mean, when Optic came out, I really was digging the velocities and stuff like that. Auto print on the printers. Who cares? It's missing backs. We'll just call those rare error cards. It is, but to a point, it starts getting very redundant onto it, Arnie. And then sometimes people start making it sound more like fact than what it is the guessing game onto it. I mean, it's always interesting because that's why I like to hear what everybody's opinion is on what they think is going to go on to it. But I've heard a couple videos where people kind of put out stuff to where it sounded more like this is how it's going to go, like how he was saying they're going to have better patches, they're all going to be game used. Nobody knows that for sure. We won't know until their first product is released. Um, yeah, they could have their own logos on every card. I don't know. I mean, it's going to really depend on what all that contracts and licensing all details onto it. I mean, could we be seeing Upper Deck? What's that called? Godwin, Goodwin, something like that, to where they had the players in suits and stuff like that. No team logos. I mean, it could be anything. Well, that's the only thing. Yeah, any license coming, but see, you still have to go out there and buy into the licensing. So it almost goes into like a lot of those dudes on eBay where they're calling these cards reprints and are actually counterfeit because somebody's printing them from at home. In order to be considered a reprint, you got to have all that Tops licensing, the Major League Baseball, like all that stuff across the board. It's just that it's not real huge with the FBI until somebody goes out there and does it with like an Honest Wagner rookie card again and bakes it. So I don't know. Time will tell over the next couple years for sure. I'm sure eventually Fanatics, I don't think they're going to keep a whole lot of people out of the, sitting there holding on. I think they're going to feed us bit by bit here eventually onto it all, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't know. See, that's the one thing though. If they all went digital, I'm not a big NFT guy, so I'd probably back out and just be going back to the old cardboard stuff because that's what I like. I like to have it in hand to see and appreciate. The digital thing is just not for me. Now, see, you got to remember, Upper Deck started with this digital stuff a while back. I want to say it was like 15, 16. They came out with their e-packs. Now, what I didn't know the time frame was like you could get well, I knew you can get the physical card that you pulled out of your e-pack, but it was coming from Column C. Let me tell you how scared I was when I got my Connor McDavid Young Guns from them. It was just bad shipping, very, very bad. How those things didn't get dinged up and stuff, I was in shock. They were lucky. I mean, literally, they weren't team bag. They were put in top loaders. I had some cards come in just sleeves. It was bad. It could. I don't know how everybody's going to feel. It's going to be up to the collectors on, if it's going to push that up in value. That's a hard call there. Because after a certain amount of time, things start becoming obsolete in people's minds. I mean, it's going to be different. Wild card was kind of cool because you got those. What was it like the 500 and 1,000 point club things? Remember that where you had to use the multiplier? Now, when they redid wild card this year, no, not for me. Pacific was okay. I mean, the only reason I liked Pacific because I was putting the Nolan Ryan sets together, if you remember those. Yeah, those ones there. Because, oh man, I can't remember who I pulled. Was it Brett Favre had a rookie in wild card or something? And I remember pulling it was the 100 times. It was just crazy in price. I think it was Brett Favre's rookie was wild card. I'd have to go back and look. Has anybody seen? I know they were coming out with that metal hockey this year. I don't know if it got released yet or not. Okay, so it was Brett Favre. I was trying to remember who it was offhand, but I remember pulling it and I was like 100 times because I think there was like 5 times too and 10 times in there. It was some weird numbers. I know it was astronomical up to like 1,000 times or something. Man, if I'd have kept that card, so I think like Brett Favre's were like $1.50 out of it or something. It was 100 times, 150. I was so like, oh my gosh, look what I got. I had to hurry up and sell it. Oh, you remember Sports Flicks? Those were straight 3D cards. I think they had like 2 or 3 years of those. It would be much easier to do, but the one thing that I would worry about the most is everybody with these bots buying the packs up and trying to get them. I don't know. I don't deal with NFTs. I think the biggest thing I do is I had some Top Shot stuff, the little video things. So I don't know. Like I said, I did with the Upper Deck E packs back in, I think it was 15, 16. I think I stopped it in 17, 18 stuff, but it was just because it was hockey and I was getting into it. And you could put like certain, like if you had like, I think it was 5 of the young gun or 5 or 10 of a card, you got like a special type of card instead you transformed it into. And then there was like certain little crazy sets you can make and stuff. And that was just fun to do. Okay, so 1,000 times was the most. I thought so. I remember the old Action Pact. Definitely for sure. I'm trying to think a couple of the other was there was another one too that came out. There was a wild card or action pact. It was an off brand. I think they were only out for a year, maybe 2 at the most. I mean, it wasn't Pro Set. It was not Pro Set. I know that, but I cannot think of the dang name now. Oh, that's cool. You remember the M&M cards used to come in a box? There was 2 of them, and it was perforated in the middle. I remember putting them things together in sets because I had like little these little binders, and I remember putting it. I think they had like 4 cards per page, and I took a lot of them, tore them, where the perforation was, and I had a couple of them that I just found that I kept in like they weren't bubble envelopes back then. I can't remember what was in the middle of them all, but it was like the old things you'd mail the pictures in and stuff or CDs into type deal, and I found them in those. Oh yeah, I remember when Kmart and there was another, I think I even still have a pack of Kmart somewhere up here unopened. Ames. Ames was the other one. Kmart and Ames. Yep, there it is. Ames. Yep. Hills. I forgot about Hills. I remember Denny's had something. Yeah, Denny's had something out. Heck, I remember when McDonald's was doing cards back in, I think it was even 15, 16. They were dipping into hockey a little bit back then. Yeah, they were stores. I think they were mostly northeastern United States, if I recall right. Even a KB Toy Store had their own little thing going. Yeah, they did. Yep. And remember there was like different versions too. Like there's they had ones that were like from Italian and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there was some everybody was dipping back then into the card world. I remember when Finest came off and everybody was pilling the coating. I left mine on. For amount of money as I was spending on them stinking packs back then. Yep, they were going straight into a top loader. Then I remember some people tell me, "Oh, you need to put in a sleeve before you put in a top loader." I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, they explain it. I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense. Give me a pack of sleeves." Oh yeah, Coca-Cola. Yep, another one there. I think it was 89, 90 hoops. They came out with a yellow set because I remember somebody gave me a couple of the sets. That was with the David Robinson series two. I think it was 89, 90 hoops. They had to be special ordered through oh, I can't remember who it was, but even the LCSs were limited on them at first. Now I see a good bit of the stuff popping up on eBay anymore. It makes you wonder how many are actually produced, and they called it limited back in the day. But then you start thinking about the elite cards back in the day out 2,500 calling limited, and you were lucky to get an elite card out of Don Russ, one per case. Well, that's also before we started getting the chrome cards and like the upper deck cards. Nobody ever thought about sleeving a top loader. I mean, think about it, we were still using screw downs and cranking the screws down on the stuff too. I want to say it was 90. I can't remember what it was 93, 94, 95, somewhere around there when more of the glossy cards come out. And that's, and I think Finest came out too, right around then. People started showing me, you need to put a sleeve into here, it's just scratching the surface, da 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 da. And I'm like, that makes sense. And I started doing it. Well, the thing with the Desert Storm cards were they were given out in Kuwait. And I just know the story from a guy that was there because he brought back, and they weren't even sets, they gave him packs and stuff, and he brought a whole bunch back and gave me them. Um, but a lot of the dudes were using them to burn, to start fires with out there and stuff like that there. So not knowing how much of it was produced, but then you had to bring it back from overseas because that's where they were given to. A lot of that stuff got dinged up pretty good. But I'll never forget he came back and gave me, oh, it was a big, huge stack of packs of those things. I think there was like 4 or 5 cards in a pack. I'd have to really think about it. It might have been more. Maybe it was 10. It was a long time ago. I want to say that was 90, early 94 when he gave them to me. And heck, I don't know if Brian's in here or not. He probably know who I'm talking about too, because he lived right across the road from me. His name was Barry, and he came back. He was a little, I don't want to say messed up from the war and stuff like that there, but he used to come down and he would like either play catcher or pitcher for us all day playing baseball, and he'd have a cooler of beer. But he knew I liked baseball cards, and he came back. I mean, it was a big old stack he gave me. What do you mean no sleeves? You know what the worst thing is? All these guys that still have their cards and screw downs, they crank down. There's a guy I know that has a very nice Hank Aaron that's in a screw down. I'm like, man, if you have that thing cranked down, it ain't gonna grade. I'm sorry, bud. And having to explain to me, and if you take it out, it may never regain original form, even by sitting out after so long. Yeah, those were what, in 2003 they gave us those. I know what you're talking about because I have them because they were the deck of cards and we were like, oh, who's the jack of spades? Oh, who's the ace of clubs and all that stuff. I remember that. Yeah, he when he was coming back, he got stuck in Kuwait and they were just handing those packs away to people down there. And I can't remember how he even got as many as he did, but he just brought him back. It was a nice big stack of them too. Yeah, 2003-ish, yeah. Boycotting Fanatics. Ooh. There were, I mean, when like Flare came out, I mean, they were pretty expensive. SP when they came out was pricey per pack. I think they were like $10 a pack or something. I think Flare was around 5, 7, $8 a pack, and that was expensive back then. Um, because most of your packs were like $1 to $2 back then. Yep, yep, yep. That it was. I was trying to remember exactly because I remember they gave us the cards then and they gave them to us when we went back in 2000. My goodness, I can't remember the year. 5 through 6. We end up getting more of them. I mean, you went to Kuwait, you got a pack, then you go somewhere else, and bring here's 2 packs in case you lose them. Oh, we know you guys be playing spades here. Take some more. I can't remember why they gave out the Desert Shield cards, to be honest. I have no idea. Like I said, the guy brought him back to me, and I think he came back. Oh man, I can't remember if it was in 93 or early 94, but as I remember him coming across the street from where I lived at and giving them to me. Maybe it was earlier in 93, maybe it was 92 or 91. I'd really have to think. I thought it was 93 though. Maybe it was 91. Man, when you start getting old, you start mixing up dates in your head. Oh boy. Maybe it was 91 now that I think about it. Because I was just happy because I got 3 Nolan Ryan ones out of it. I remember Griffey being in it. And the sad part was, I know everybody now wants the Chipper Jones, and I couldn't remember if I pulled one of those or not and sold it. But the only ones I got left, I got the Griffey, a regular. I know I have a Griffey like all-star looking card, and I got my 3 Nolan Ryans, and that was it. That I kept out of them all. Okay, so they did come out in 90. I don't know why I have 93 in my head. But yeah, so he would have came back in 92 then, because I was trying to think. I'm like, I wasn't in high school. I know I was in junior high, and the math wasn't adding up. The math was not adding up in my head. So yeah, okay, so it would have been 92 that he gave them to me. Oh, they probably do. I mean, if you were like in one of those shipping areas with your supply and you ship some of them back and you held them all this time, you'd get crazy money for them. Crazy, crazy money. Yeah, the only reason I opened them was I was looking for the Nolan Ryans. Only reason. And I remember I kept the Griffies too, and all the other ones eventually sold off over time. Probably, I'm going to say, I wasn't in Georgia. I was in Colorado. So somewhere between 2010 and 11, I sold the rest of them off because they were all just in one binder. All right, guys, we've been hitting 3 hours here. I'm going to call it a night because I got to hit the post office in the morning and ship a few things out for people. But I appreciate it. Be back live next Friday as always. I don't think I have anything really coming in crazy for some WNBA Prism stuff next week and Pokemon, and that might be really about it off the top of my head. But appreciate it all for talk tonight and stopping in. Always enjoy the comments and interacting with everybody here. Uh Probably a Luca auto, honestly. If you'd asked me that over a year ago, I'd probably be able to pick it off the top of my head. But recently, I've sold some stuff between 10 and 15 easy. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. I'll catch y'all next Friday for sure. And then I'll look at doing that Bowman break. We'll put together a little mixer of Bowman. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a good one.